Yes. Drove by the barber shop. No cars out front. I went, oh. Greetings from Dystopia, episode 112. A time and a place for everything. I think it's time to go fishing. Now I just got to find the place. I think we'll head back out to Shadow Creek. I'll take a few minutes and do my pack swap that I talked about the other day. And then we'll go back and take a look at the creek. Hopefully with the rain the last few days, it's not going to be flooded out. If you don't creek fish, that's a blessing and a hazard all at once when the creeks get flooded up. The blessing is it flushes out some debris and some fish, but it also brings in new fish, more fish, especially in the pools. So that's obviously the blessing. The danger is, well, come on, common sense. Flooding. You know, you don't want to be caught in some of these creeks, particularly when they're drainage creeks. You don't want to be stuck in there when all that water comes rushing, which is usually why I don't fish them when it's raining or before or after. But we'll still take a look at it. And if it's low enough, I'll sneak down to that one hole from the other day. I did bring that bin. This one's a little big, but it's worth a shot. Give it a try and see what we come up with. Anyway, snuck out and got a haircut too. Went over and grabbed just some, what did I grab? Bananas and a thing of soda and something else. Oh, little apple cinnamon, like a breakfast bar. Anyway, and as I was leaving there, I drove by the barber and I looked and there was like nobody in the parking lot. So I just whipped in there real quick, looked in the door, there was nobody. Ding! So I got my hair cut. Went back with a shorter cut again. Just allows me to go a little longer without a haircut. Anyway, let me drive. Talk to you guys in a bit. So here's something to think about if you decide to buy the Osmo Pocket. There's this little adapter here. It slides into the front of the camera. And so this particular one is Thunderbolt. So for iPhones. There's another one that's USB-C. But you can see how tiny it is, right? Well, I dropped it. And I just spent 30 minutes fishing it out of there. Arrgh. Alright, so this is basically where I'm starting at. I emptied out my Zimmerbilt, which carried most of this. This actually belongs in the fish pond. And this is my larger Sims guide that I really love, but it's loaded with crap. So the idea is to break this down as my rod carrier and carry some extras. Now this is all for fixed line or tenkara fishing. So the idea is the rods will be in here. Things I won't need that often are in the back. So that's just strapped around me. Stuff you need often, a couple boxes of flies, tippet, nippers, and hemostats are over here. All that will be in this bag. And that's where I'm starting from now. Will I end up there? I don't know yet. Somebody asked me, and I don't remember where it was, but what I predominantly used for creek fishing. If I'm chasing smaller guys or even the bigger guys, the fly fishermen know the deal. I'm just using a nymph, and I forget the exact pattern name, but it's basically hare's ear in olive and then in a tan. The olives seem to get mistaken quite a bit for dragonfly nymph. And they're just good all around. And then the other pattern, is just an all gray Japanese style kabari. Okay, so now we're set up. Creek bag, all my gear for creeks. Creek pack with 3 fixed line rods. That is changed based on where I'm fishing or what I'm fishing for. River, lake, etc. bag. So now I'm kind of broke out the way I want it. Alright, so now I'm all packed up. Rods are around the back. I know somebody's looking going, oh, that bag's heavy. Keep in mind, these rods only weigh an ounce or so each. The heaviest one I have on me today is Daiwa. The Daiwa, I think, weighs in at like 2.1 ounces, so they're really light. I'd be willing to bet that the entire pack, both of them front and back, is under 2 pounds, easy. Less water. I do have bottled water in there, so that's going to add to it, but it's nowhere near as heavy as you think it is. That was one of the other things that turned me on to fixed line fishing, whether you want to call it tenkara or what, There's a lot of purists, but fishing is fishing. My humble opinion. And that's kind of how the whole moniker STFUandFish came about. I was listening to people go, well, that's not this, that's not that. And bottom line is, it's all fishing. I don't know how well they're going to show up, if at all. The emerald jewel wings are everywhere. And some black ones too. Oh, that one's kind of cool. Oh, it just flew off. It's an olive body with a black and olive wing. I don't know what that one is. But yeah, we're almost back to that little bridge and check out the water level. Well, it is up, but not much at all. And I don't know if you can tell or not. Their dead center is a pool. And I can see a bunch. I mean, I'm talking a bunch of little minnows working around. From here, I can see some are green sunfish. Some down here, and there's a fern-looking shadow. It's the leaves from the tree above, but I can see some chubs hanging there. One guy's fairly sizable, about 6 inches. It's clear enough around me. Okay, so here's the deal. I won't fish this today. I'll give them a little bit more peace and quiet. Right down here's quite a few chubs. You can see the water moving. Just above that sky reflection in the shadows there. There's quite a few chubs. Oh, got a scatter up here. Trying to keep an eye on this for a minute and see what I can see moving around. I see a lot of chubs. I see quite a few sunfish. There's some larger chubs working that line right there. Dead center. Alright, you know what? I'm going back up and I'm going to get the 2-weight. At least the 2-weight's got some lifting strength and I can cast from right here. That's funny, isn't it? Sometimes these creeks are ideal where a fixed line rod, be it a conventional Tenkara rod or like the Kurenai. There's a lot of creeks where those rods are ideal. But then there's others where you just can't beat a 1 or 2 weight. So I'm gonna go back up here and get the baby Yoda rod. Tie on, probably a hare's ear. The little olive one. And go back down there. Alright. Change the packs. Change rods. Decided to put a heavier tippet on. Normally I have 6X on this 2-weight, but I bumped up to 5. Just so I can get that extra little bit of lift there at the bridge. Although on the way back up I did see a little path down, so I'll check it out as well. I don't know how I didn't see this path last time. But yeah, this gives me another way down into the creek. When I actually have wading boots on, because that's a lot of muck right down there. Although if I get in the muck, I only got a little bit to go, and then I'm on that sandbar, rock bar. Just heard a big fish pop right back here. Can see the waves moving across. It could have been a chub come clear out of the water, because that water's only about 8 inches deep right there. I was going to bring the GoPro, but the battery's dead. Got to figure out a way to keep that thing charging in the car all the time. Alright, so I've got nowhere to mount this, but that's my objective, right down in there. So you got this little skinny branch that comes out. I want to go right next to that and come back through this bottom area. See what I can find. If I catch something, I'll bring you back. First cast. Nice, fat. Oh, hold on now. He's trying to get away from me. I don't have a death grip on him. It looks like it, but I don't. Alright, let's get him back down there. And don't worry, creek chubs will survive that. They always joke about cockroaches being the only thing left after a nuclear war. Creek chubs too. But yeah, first cast. Caught that creek chub. Oh, and Mike, I left it up in the car. I thought about it as soon as I cast, and then he hit. So next time. Okay, well, this was a one and done pool. It sent everybody flying. But that's, that's part of creek fishing. Sometimes you can blow a pool in one cast. Since I just got the email while I'm on the way back to the car, I'll assume it's pronounced Wenmai, W-E-N-M-A-I. $25 coffee donation from the website. That was pretty cool. Thank you. There's another tank of gas. So I'm steady recording this piece and then realized my music was playing and it was still plugged in to charge, so I had no external mic. Alright guys, that's it for today. Be good, be well, wear a mask. See you tomorrow. Bye bye guys, have a good one.